What's up? I am on Last Chaos, having a good day, all of that. You can always leave a comment if you wish. Do remember though, if you do it afterwards, I may not get to see it. And for someone that commented about the music thing, I am actually a musician as well. Just right now, my space that I have is kind of limited to where I can't set it up. I can, but I have to tear everything down to do that. I mean, it's completely possible. I have the software to record and all of that. Probably my strongest instrument would probably be drums and bass. I have two different drum sets, actually. I have an acoustic and electric. I already have a video on here, or on my YouTube, that actually sit right in front of it, actually. My electric set, that is. I may try doing a few videos and adding drums to it. Wouldn't be able to do it on this stream though. Not right away, at least. But it would require me to tear down this whole area just to do that. And my video editing skills are high enough I could even link it up with a video of me actually playing it as well if I had to. When looking to see where you are, do you know what your distance is and how far? Do you know the relative time of how much time? Or do you know just the real time? Now I'll give you a small example of what I mean by this. Now this may kick me out of the game while I try to figure out this information. Nope. Never mind. Something I gotta figure out real quick first. Give me a second. Give you a small example of what I'm speaking of with this. Once I can get to where I'm able to do that. Alright. I know the information that I need to know. Okay, according to YouTube, I started in October of last year. I have a few videos that are posted before that, but I didn't officially start until October, but there are 2 videos that have April. It's June of the next year. But my relative time would be around about 85 hours. Because my videos are only usually about 10 minutes long on average. So when I ask you, how long have you done it? I'm asking relative time. So looking, how much time have you spent? Is it enough to be where you wish to be after that time that has been spent? What is it, 10,000 hours to be one of the best in your field? In relative time, has it been that long? It's not hard to figure out if your guess that you have spent too long is right or wrong. Oh, but I've tried. Okay, but what is your relative time? Oh, I spent once a week, 1 hour a day, for 3 months. Small example. You haven't spent the time. At least to the relative time. And you wonder why you have not got far. You wonder it's not like a high-speed car. Getting there fast and all of that. That is a tool you use to measure your distance, compared to where your map and compass tell you your distance. If your goal is a certain place, how much time have you spent to try to get to that place? It might be hard, that's fine. But you cannot judge it to common time. If you do, you will notice. To you, there's been more time than has actually been. For me, that's roughly a little over 3 days worth of content. If you were to watch from the beginning to the end. I actually have a little bit more content than that, but that's just counting my videos being 10 minutes long. So in comparison to your map and compass, what is it that your measuring tool to measure where you are? Does it show where you think you are in common time, or the relative time of how much time you've spent? Just so you know, these rules cannot be bent. more time you spend. Closer you get to where you wish to be. There are certain tools that measure distance. I'm speaking of the one that measures map distance. Cannot fully say the word because it's a complicated one. But it's something similar to, don't quote me on this, optometer or something like that? So what distance does it say you've been? It's like the 85 hours. That would be my measurement of that. It's not very easy for some to measure that. But I will tell you this. Most that have been successful, ask them how many of those hours they spent. Do you think they got where they were in a single day? Takes more than that. I can assure you of that. Some may not need to measure that as much as others, though. Depends on if you have a talent that makes you grow even faster. Makes you be able to hit your goal extremely faster. There was something that someone once told me when I was doing some martial arts with him. Said there is always someone working harder than you. You may have talent, but if you waste it, there are a few that will not have it and outwork you and still be better than you could ever be. If it is that they outwork you so they can be able to see. Though that will be noticed. Talent would still be noticed. With that hard work that the other put in. So if you have a talent for something, do not waste it. What's interesting about this, at least for me in the middle of all this, I may play drums and other things. But did you ever think that maybe that can be translated into other things? Like what I do now. If you pay attention, I do it in a pattern. Do you get me now? Syncopated. Timing a certain way. And it doesn't matter upon what I say. It comes out, and it comes out this way. That's just an example in my own. Because I am talented in that. But I do not have the space for that. It comes out in a different way. But in a very similar way. And I will say this, for whatever reason, I was playing drums when I was little, not realizing I was. Used to take knives and play on a table to music that I heard while I was sitting at the table, even before I knew what a drum set was. or at least an opportunity to play one. My parents got me one when I was little, but a friend knocked it over almost as soon as I got it when I was little. Of course, also, most of the time as I do this, I'm listening to music as I do this. I don't mind telling about myself a little bit. Most of the time is orchestra music. No lyrics. Funniest thing about all this, I never really started doing this until I was in a situation where I could not play whenever I wished. It's funny how adaptations and other things show up, and how things translate into other things when they're unable to be as they need to be. They still show up, regardless how it is. It's interesting. At least I find it that way. Most interesting thing also for me, I never know what I will say before I say it. I don't even think about it before I say it. This is just a small example of myself. Maybe this might inspire someone else to be themselves. Judge the time they've spent properly to the relative time that they should be judging properly. I know this one seemed a bit random, but it is what it is. Until next time.